Alrighty. Hey everyone, thanks again for joining in on another game dev stream. Today, well, I've done a bunch of work thus far, and where I am now is we're working on the battle system. A whole bunch of changes and overhauls are in mid-production, so let's take a look at what's going on. Right. So, yep, we have our EM characters. We toggle into battle mode here. And we have an updated command list with signifiers for melee and ranged techniques, right? At the moment, I'm just updating the color changes for the menus depending on who the EM character is. So I've done it on the command list here, but not on the submenu that opens up for things like skills or items. And actually, items are the function, rather, that is in uh, midway of completing. So as soon as I fix up the color changes on the sub menu, I will hop over and continue back to the item system working in combat. Because we got it working in exploration mode, but I want to be able to use things like e-canteens, or like those are our potions type items, and we want to be able to use those in battle, obviously. Okay, so I got a whole bunch of tabs open because I am restricted to one monitor here. So let's see what I do and do not need. Probably don't need the item menu reference or the inventory button. Choice button, we will need that. Animation blueprint, battle mode class, we don't need. Okay. This is actually the function that's controlling the colors on the command list. Basically, when the command list is being created, we apply a whole bunch of variables, things like language and things like um, which option it is, for instance, an attack option or a special move, etc. And right here is also where we do our focused color. And that's the only thing we have to alter between Vance or Maya, depending on who's in play. And this is the same sort of method that's going to be used in the submenu as well. It's a command list button, it should be getting called on the battle HUD. So if we go to construct, you can see here, we set up the command buttons and apply the color based on who the active character is, which gets determined on pre-construct. So let's just not quickly, but I'll try to be quick. If this is your first time watching, I usually mention that these aren't tutorials. They're just videos of me sort of updating um, anyone who's watching on the progress and what's being worked on. Okay, so command list button, we have our floating menu, which is our uh, widget where the choices get populated, right? And then we have the choice button, which is what appears. So in a similar fashion, we have our set item data and set skill data. So in either case, we are going to need to do what we did previously, which is get our slot color focused. We want to set that to this function. And we can pass it through here. That way when this information gets set. Hold on, one second. Because these items are used for skills, inventory, even special actions in battle, maybe a better place to create this. Let's take a look at the battle HUD here. Initialize submenu function, right? So here's where it happens. We have our populate items, populate skills, which is where we were in here. Or set skill data comes afterwards. But I want to see if we can apply it to the button itself instead of a submenu, populate skills inside of here. So if we go to our floating menu, not set item data, but populate skills, here, all over, we have these colors. It's like, this is why, because for Vance and Maya skills that get spawned, there's several, right? Because, you know, in an RPG game, your characters have multiple skills and techniques. But for each one, well, this is where it gets created, so perhaps this is the way it has to be. But I don't like that. I think we have to find a more efficient way to set that information. In the choice button, we have which variables. How about in our floating menu? Okay, so our floating menu knows, well, actually has a reference to the active character, so we could use that and our choice buttons do not have a reference to the floating menu because they just have a one-way relationship. So. I guess we can just do it here. It's fine. Inside of the function, we can have a local variable. That might be a decent way to track it. We can call this choice button focus color. And we're going to make this I think an S color. A slate color, I believe, is what we want. Let's compile and see if this will be accepted. If not, I probably should have reverse built it if I'm wrong. Nope, those won't work. Okay, so first thing we gotta do is compile these. So let's compile slot color focused here, and we're gonna have to do this on the item data as well. So slot color focused, we want to set it as soon as shortly after the button gets created. And then we go back to the floating menu. Does not match. If we compile, it should go away. It should be fine. Yeah. Okay, so let's build this out a better way. Let's promote this to a local variable and call this actually what it was before. Choice button focus color. Cool. And then we'll always plug this in. And we can set it right after this tree, or after this switch. What's a good spot for it? Probably here. Probably here. And I just want to grab those color swatches. Do I have them saved? I do not. So let's go grab them from the HUD event graph. Here we are. So let's grab that. Really handy tool. Love the color picker. But sometimes it doesn't save your themes. That's the only thing I don't like. I don't know if it's just my machine, but it's not the biggest problem. If you're very peculiar about your colors that you use for blueprinting or in widgets, you can always get them from wherever you're referencing them from. for consistency. Just a small hassle. Okay, so we want to set this for Vance, and there's one skill. And we'll set this for Maya. And we'll just apply her color type. Perfect. Okay. Nice. And now we can compile. Maybe do a little bit of saving, because I haven't saved in a while. Get a sip of coffee. And there it goes. Now we'll do the same thing on populate items. We should have an S color. Perfect. This is much easier because it's just a looped function based off of our item structure. So this one, it will need a similar. Let's grab it from this exactly. Let's grab this. So I'm gonna pass this through, and we want to party member in. But this party member in is it's not the active character, it's all possible party members. So we cannot use this for those purposes. With our active character reference, what exactly did I build over here? This is party member in. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Wait. It doesn't make sense. Oh, embarrassing! Okay, anyways. Yeah, we can't exactly use that. Populate skills gets called from the battle hub, I believe. Populate skills. Let's search for this. Cool. Yeah, we have initialize submenu. Right. Oh. This is our C active player and the party member ID. But why? Oh, no, that's correct. In the widget we have active EM character. And this is what we should be using. So on these two skills, we will have to add an input. I think it is the enumerator active character, whereas active party member it would refer to all party members. I call this active character in. And we're gonna make some space because we're gonna do that same. Actually, can I paste? Perfect. It's still there. We're gonna set this right here. And we're gonna pass this through. Right, and back on our battle HUD, we're gonna pass this through in here. And then we're gonna do the same over here. What fun. It's actually really fun to just copy and paste these. We can go to our skills and copy and paste this local variable as well. Save us some time, right click, and create local. And now we have it over here. Very convenient. And we'll pass this through right here. Cool. And now, when we go back to our battle HUD, we should have both. Yeah, populate items actually doesn't need a party member in. That's not even necessary. So can I alt click this on a function? Or it's not. We'll just close it manually. And let's rename this. Rename it to active character. Cool. I'm gonna save all. And Now I can compile. Oh, it's taking a long time. Okay, that's fine. Kind of scary. My heart skipped a beat a little bit. This is... I'll do this off stream. This is for the color of... I'll show you, of the command list. I mean, like, take a look at what we did. Yeah, so this was always green. The... Oh gosh, this isn't right. But it's changed something. Oh, probably because we did not plug anything in, of course. We built all the functionality to take place, but over on the floating menu for our skills, there's nothing. And even our items, I don't think there's anything. So there's no point in going to preview it again. So instead of this, let's just plug this in here, because that would have showed up pink, marked as a void. So we'll compile this function and go to our populate skills. Right. Actually, this is alright because I copy and paste these events for each, because they're very similar, except for, you know, the data tables, not the data tables, but the skill nodes that it references. It's actually okay. It's actually fairly efficient. At least until I can think up a more efficient way. Okay. Now then, let us jump over here. We have our menu. Skills looking good. Actually, not looking good. Why is this still blue? If we go to items, yeah, that's green. Oh, we don't have a back functionality yet. That's what I mentioned earlier, that it's in mid-progress. So I just have to manually shut down the preview. Let's see here. Yeah, choice button focus. When we pass this index in, so it shouldn't matter. If we go to our HUD, these are both passed in through, so those should work the same. Let's just continue with the simulation a little bit. Okay, these are fine. I think we can use volley. Then switch to Vance, and yeah, that doesn't work. Correct. His are green, so something is going on, and it must be here, because this is where everything gets created, right? Our widget buttons. Oh, yeah, that's incorrect. This is overwriting my intended programming. To get rid of this and get rid of this, because you don't want the menu to change per character skill. That should be better. I guess I could do a quick sanity check. Then I can No, we're ready to move on. Hooray! Alright, so next up, we were looking at, I don't think we need the command list or the command list buttons. Choice button we'll use, floating menu definitely we'll use, because we're trying to get back from here. Alright, so in the battle HUD, into the command graph we go. So this thing was actually like 1,000 times harder to read, but it's like night and day. I don't know, I have a picture somewhere saved of the before. And it's not arranged yet, but it's definitely more easier to work in. So when it's all said and ready, I'll do a before and after and share it out. Okay, we got a confirm skill. What we want is for if skill confirmation, if skill. Okay, so before we add functionality for the items, for using items, we're gonna allow us to exit. So I believe our state is called item. The item phase, right? I mean, item phase, yeah. Strange that we don't have. Yeah, if item, we go to the item phase and then, right, it gets stuck. Let's think about this real quick. I want to test out a few things. I want to be able to scroll and check pages. I mean, it all should work. It's the same programming, so I guess it's fine. We can just add one other item to spawn for testing. That might be make things a bit more interesting. So yeah, additional inventory population. Here we have the eCanteen populate. We have. So we'll do the same thing here. We'll add one more item to spawn. It will be, we spawn it. We add to the character's inventory on begin play. Whoops, no, we want to go this way. That will actually work. And we don't want the eCanteen because that's just going to go to that item stack. We would want a it would be easier for me to just go to the content browser and get a better visual on the kind of actors for spawning. Inventory items. These are the newer ones that work in the current system. I think some are old down here. Or maybe they're okay. Here's a question. Will something like... I guess an eCanteen Plus would work fine. It's like a boosted potion, like a better potion, like a high potion, but it's a plus instead of a regular. So it's not the most different of item, but for our purposes, it'll be fine. So we'll compile that, and we will get back to our HUD over here. So we set command index to item, and when we go there, we get stuck because there's nothing to feed in. So we need to add an item mode. Thought I made one already. It's not that. Skill confirm, submenu selection, skill phase. I guess I need an item phase. Okay. Maybe I am thinking of the previous one I did. I'm getting confused. Yeah, if we did it, it would not allow me to make this, so... Yep. So let's call item phase. Perfect. Let's throw that in here, nice and neat. And where do we want to put this? This is going to actually be very similar to this. Actually, it might be the same in terms of its inputs, because functionally they're accessing the same submenu. So I think that should be all right. We'll see. We'll see. We'll rename this if it's good. Hey, High Type. Thanks for checking in. And I'm glad to see that you're still glad about it. That was smooth. Okay. So now that we have some movement inputs, we should be able to navigate the submenu under items. It appears that I'm incorrect. And why is that? I'm going to take a look at the HUD over here and see what's going on. Right, so well, I need to use my other monitor, or else it won't display in real time, which is weird. Okay, so I can see on the debug viewer, you're getting input to everything. Oh, I'm a goof. Bogus goof. Bogus goof. Yeah, not move phase. We want skill. We want skill phase. That's an obvious mistake. It's like trying to input functions that don't exist because they're not enabled. Anyways, yeah, we got our inputs, which are cool. So based on that, pages should work fine. It's using um, the same handlers, really. Um, so now it'd be cool if we could use these, and if we could escape, because now we're stuck here. It's like we can just select things, we can't use them. Just saw your comment, high type. Oh, it's good. I know this isn't the most exciting content when it comes to watching, and in fact, it's not even like a proper tutorial. I mean, developers or other people like who are doing game development as a hobby, could probably glean from them. But a lot of the times, I'm just working through issues, so it's well, it's authentic, you know. I'll take it. Alrighty, so we have our input, we have our back button now, item types. So similarly to our if skill, we want item main to work the same way. I'm going to move this out of the way. This is important for me for later. Old skill exit stuff. I don't want to work with it on stream because a bunch of the skills are getting overhauled and they're not in a shareable state at the moment. And that's going to be like real R&D, and it might lead to some very dry content, maybe. I don't know. I cannot confirm at this time. But okay, so we can probably duplicate this wholesale. I want to say skill stance is skill stance. Okay, so we're copying this down. So when we try and exit, right, our back button while in the item phase, um, you know, we're gonna comment this. So if item, we're gonna revert from the, I guess, item submenu. Is what would happen. So, we call it submenu revert function, which is built. We go into skill stance, we'd set it false. That's incorrect. We'd actually want to set item stance as false. Item stance setup. Because we've built in the item stance. Well, I built it for Maya today. It's just a pose, actually. There's no animation. But it works. And then we'll pass this along as well. So now we should be able to go back. In terms of execution, let's see. Well, it's pretty, just a simple Oh, we just called this on the submenu. It might be the same, to be honest. We'll see what happens. We'll plug that in. Compile and save. Let the source control do its thing. And I'm going to hop into this function. So now we're in the floating menu, the function that gets called when we hit confirm. So this works for skills fine, because we cycle the state of the button. We then check if it's disabled. So this actually, I have to leave a note here, because there's a few checks that need to be added to skills. For items, not so much. Check. Oh, my typing is terrible. Check for disabled skills. Needs to include line of sight. On ranged abilities. Okay. Then we're gonna have, so if disabled items will never, well, maybe we would disable items, and their disabled condition would be if your character's HP is full, the target of the potion. It's item based, right? But I need to think, do you disable? I guess you do disable it, so you would have a disable check anyways, which is fine. And then we have a confirm sound effect, whatever. Here, submenu selection. Yeah, this is a bit different, because now we're checking skill data from the skill button. So we're going to have a fork here somewhere. We have to get the item data instead. Oh, whoops, we don't want to set item data. We want to get it. Get item. Right, and then we're going to have a similar output. A similar output. And this submenu mode, should be able to switch on this, because depending on the mode that we're in, whether it's, skill or items, like this is skill, like no matter what, we have to press the button, obviously, and then if it's items, you would, come down here and do something, make something happen in this area of the graph. So you still have the disabled checks. That's interesting. Okay, let's see if this stuff works. It should. The exit functionality anyways. If you want to cycle between our different character states. Whoops. Force of habit from working on the UI so often, sometimes reflexively I'll just open it. Okay, so we have skill menu, working, item menu, working, we can go back. If we go to, attack, oh, that should be disabled. I wonder why that's broken all of a sudden. Oh no, that makes sense. It's reverting from the item menu. That's something, yeah, that's something that is unique to that that mode, that command phase, if you will. Oh yeah, okay, so, Vance doesn't have his not command. I did some renaming of stuff. That's fine. It's a small error to fix. He's the same class as my character class, so everything usually works. I just made like a quick naming change and it offset the camera settings. It's silly. It's a silly thing. right? So camera index, where are we? Instead of item, I change it to item stance now, so that's why it doesn't know where to go. So it just goes to 0, 0, 0 when we look for the camera location. I probably should have a safeguard in there for like, if you can't find the location for some reason, just go to like root or character default. Anyway, advanced should be fine now. But the toggling of the signifier is, where are we? Let's go to the graph. Go to the graph. Exit here. If item, revert from submenu. We want to toggle off. Where do we toggle it on? Initialize submenu. Item stance setup. So go to the referee. Item stance setup. Oh, it happens here. So we're gonna need like a, wait, oh look, old healing item. Look at this, old stuff. Old stuff I saved. Guess it'll be useful for the stream. We'll take a look at it shortly. So what we want to do here is probably create a branch, because right now all we don't, actually we don't even need to make a branch. We can just pass this through, right? So if it's off, we turn it off, right? Set it to false. Makes sense. Why complicate things with that branch? Right, so focus on her. Now we're not. Cool. Nice. Alright, so over in the item execution. I don't want to be in the referee. There's too much going on. The referee may need to get cleaned up as well, or at least organized. Functionally, I think it's great. There's too many bubbles. Not bubble crazy. Comment bubbles, that is. In the referee. Let's take a look. There's just like a mess of bubbles. I get a little bit of cleaning up here. That's cool. Look at all this. So nice. Easy to read what these are. Okay. Oh, back on the HUD. Let's just arrange this for easier navigation. So on confirm. Go into our floating menu. Here we are. I think the disable check is gonna have to be TBD. Like, where does that take place? On the choice button itself, I would imagine. Disable check? What? This is like barely a check. What's happening here? So here's where we navigate. Let's think about it. This is our toggle choices. We come through here, change it to neutral to hovered, and then we are displaying the help text for the skill. Also, this would be important for items. It would actually be different. So if we set item data, oh sorry, if we get it, if we get item data. Okay. If we break this, we have our use details. This is the one you want. So we can put a select in here, pass in the sub menu mode variable and delete that. And basically, if it's a skill, if we're in skill mode, we're going to grab the skill data of the button, or we're going to grab the item data, the use details, that is. Special is, well, I don't have that menu functionality yet, so there's space for that right here. But the reason why I came here was because I was looking at navigation, and we got to see where that we do our checks for our skills disabled. Probably want to do it here, right after we hover to it. Does that make sense? No, you'd want to do your disabled checks right. Okay, so over on populate skills. When this button gets created, if it's a skill type, we populate skills. We call this function, right? It comes through here, goes to Vance or Maya. Then what happens? We go through the character skills, right? We create the ones that are unlocked or acquired. And here we do our disable check for skills. Items are a little bit different. Oh, real quick, before I forget, I should add that note from here to our populate skills. Yeah, the reason why it's best to do it here is because this is where our skills get populated. So we don't have to check every single time when we like navigate up or down in the submenu. I think this is a more efficient place to run that check. So we kind of have it for skills. For items, it would probably be in the same place. So we would have a disable check somewhere. Let's make some space. Oh, I don't like that at all. Let's make space here. I'll have to fix that comment box, but whatever. Yeah, fly over, make some room. So we'll do our disable check. I can even add some logic into here, which is what I would like to do. So instead of just a true or false, we might get some feedback as to why it's disabled. You know, is it would it have no effect, or is it a range issue? That's more imperative for skills. Now that I think about it, for items, it's basically the only feedback you would have is that item would have no effect, or there's no need to use that. There's some sort of text like that, just to provide some feedback to the player. Anyways, yeah, let's grab some disabled check. I'll just duplicate this over here. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll get rid of that. Nice. Alright. So this is tricky. We have all this information though. So look, for the eCanteen and eCanteen Plus, I know they're restoratives, right? Of all the all the item types, we can use the data here to probably determine the usability of them. So oh geez, it's gonna drive me nuts. So I'm just gonna grab this. We don't need that. You can just to make things easier to work with. Let's move a reference over here, and basically we're going to select restoratives. Or sorry, ready to select node. Like, teach myself how I did this again for the skills menu. Oh, is that right? High type. Just saw your comment now. Which blueprint are you referencing exactly? Or if you can remember. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we get our outputs. Right. Hmm. Well, I think need to. Oh, that's too bad. But I definitely get it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're putting down, I should say. Um, yeah, sometimes when blueprints are too big, it's even just a chore to like work within them. I mean, the search, the finder helps, but okay, let's see here. For the, I want to reference the, yeah, attack validations here. These are done by checking target or checking attack types, which is basically item types in our case for the item menu, and then looking at target location. Something like this. Okay, so let's get, whoops. Okay, so from here we should be able to pull what? Party members. Party positions. So when I get that, whoa, we don't want that. We actually want something similar to this. Enemy team. We have a hunters team. What did I call this? We're going to have to jump over to the get hunters party. And we're gonna get the array. And we're looking for the focused enemy index, focused party member index. Oh, let me see these comments. Oh, there's so many. Where was I? Oh, dang. Definitely good to know. Definitely good to know. I believe we've subclassed things. Oh, to like, our team's super small. It's basically me and my technical director, um, who comes on the stream sometimes. But yeah, he's sort of put together how these structures are divided, and I kind of work within them. So I think it's okay for us, but I get it. Just the volume of information and then things like references breaking when you make changes, that can be very annoying. Definitely, I can appreciate that struggle. Okay, so from here, what was I doing? We want to cast to player, right? Um, and we can probably make this a pure cast because I know it to be true. Okay, let's move this over. So basically, this is super, super, super awkward. See, for each skill, we set this up individually, but for the items, I have it going through a loop, which is fine for populating them for navigation and even using them if we didn't care about restrictions. But if we do, um, you know, we're going to have to find a better solution or a way of organizing it. But for a very loose kind of, um, you know, we can do a switch on type over here, and basically, basically, you know, this is very rough stuff, right? We only have restoratives going in, but you know, like what does that even mean? I mean, restoratives include like status effects as well, so this isn't this is by no means like a long-term solution, but this is how I would do it. You'd get the um, get core stats, primary stats, right? Break this, and then get the health points, right? Get those health points, and check if it's greater than or equal to their maximum. They're basically checking if the focus character's HP is full. And then, and then that's actually that. So I don't love this. It's okay. It should work anyways. Um, oh, oh yeah, how true. Obviously, this hunters are only of that subclass, so we can pass that through. Um, True say high type. Let's hope that we don't. Oh, I shouldn't. I leave it. I leave it in the hands of people more knowledgeable than I. Okay. So here's a good question. Right? Yeah, these are disabled. We don't have our ability to check on other characters yet, but they're definitely flagged as disabled, which is cool. Which is cool. Um, and we're getting our help text in there, which is neat. Gotta love those data tables. I do want to fix the. Ugh, this bothers me. We can fix that pretty quick. and then try and do something else as we bring our stream to a close. So that would be on the choice button itself, and we are looking for the event graph right here, disabled. Right, this is the guy we're looking for. It's not hard. And we can probably pass this into here, just like that. Ah, no. So I don't play first-person shooters. Okay. Yeah, okay, great. Next up. Next up would be to get to the command phase, right? Or disable check. Sorry, not a disable check. We would have. Okay, so we come down here. Confirm selection. Is it a skill or an item mode? We're in item mode. So. Oh, geez. This check should actually happen further along. It's not the right place for it. Shove this back a bit. Oh gosh, okay. It's okay. We have our error sound effects, which are fine. It's, yeah, basically just right here. It's going to change. Wait, is it going to change anything? Submenu selection on the HUD is going. Here. Yeah, this is. No, we're not gonna. We probably need to even rename this. I'll call it skill menu selection. And then we'll duplicate this to item menu selection. Like targeting type and all of that. I don't want to pass that through. Let's just move this out of the way. So we're gonna break this. Whoops. Grab our actor name. Right, and our targeting type. Usable when. Maybe. Yeah, we probably need a targeting type. So I have to add something to the struct. Well, I guess that music's probably the cue. The cue for me to end the stream. Anyways, we got four people watching. That's pretty cool. It's a bump up from last time. I'll be happy with that. In all seriousness, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you guys checking out how Grand Vault is going. Oh wait, where's the end screen? There it is. All right, there it says it. It says it right there. Please subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.